Sure has been a while.
And boy, has it been a while indeed. Oh, a really, really long while. So, several years back, I did a video where I walked the entire Callahan line in PTA. It was one of the most grueling challenges since the upside down screen challenge I did before that point, because I had to murder my left finger for like an hour and a half just to keep the video and, things going. But some out there may call me a blithering idiot for even wanting to do something similar to that again, which, I quite am. Which is why I'm going to do it again. However, this time I'm going to do it in Nycsa. Unlike last time, there will actually be rules and guidelines we have to follow in order to beat this challenge. In order to make this challenge more nerve-wracking, I have to walk on the oncoming side of the tracks while also having to dodge oncoming trains in order to not die. And if I don't dodge right or on time and get hit by an oncoming train, I get disqualified and lose the challenge entirely. Another thing I've also considered is ditching onto the platform while an oncoming train is heading towards me. That is a big, fat no-no. The last rule, which was actually added halfway through the challenge, is that I cannot touch the third rail of the track. If I do touch the third rail, I will end up like that one guy in that one movie in that one scene, if you know what I mean. Anyways, let's get on with this. The trip started on the northern terminus of the 1 line, which is Rector Street, after which I jumped onto the tracks and started walking. Yup, here we go. It was at this point where I realized there's a big, massive problem with doing this challenge. You see, how am I going to do this branch? In the end, I decided that when I got to the junction between the 2 and the 1 lines, I'd just jump right onto the 2 line, do that line, go back down the 2 line to intersect with the 1 line, and keep going down the main line for the rest of the game. Going down to Dutch Hill Road was not really hard at all. It all went according to plan. Except, that was when my first train dodge had to happen. Thankfully, I was fully ready with my hand on the spacebar ready to go, successfully jumped out of the way of the train and survived. I made it to Dutch Hill Road, dodged another train coming from the other way, and made it back onto the 1 line, and I was given a warm welcome back from a 3rd train going in the other direction again. A 4th train was waiting right behind the 3rd train, which wouldn't be much of a problem if there wasn't a 5th train coming down the other track wanting to kill me from behind. Despite how scared I was in that moment, there was thankfully a lot of distance between me and that 5th train, so I was able to get out of the way in time. After that mishap at 215th Street, I continued down the line to 207th Street, dodged yet another oncoming train, and successfully made it to 207th while also having to dodge a train in the way. And it's here where we enter one of the most dangerous parts of the entire game. The tiny stretch between 207th and Beverly Road is probably the most dangerous part in the entire game due to the high amounts of train traffic that goes through that area. Which means I pretty much have to play this part like I'm playing Subway Surfers. And let me tell you, it was not fun at all. Thankfully, I made it past 2nd Avenue onto Beverly Road, into the underground portion through Financial District. Which, of course, the song and dance, had to dodge several other trains along the way, and met up with these Rart guys on the tracks. Look at them go. I made it through the Financial District, continued down the line, then down to Lincoln Center, which actually has a shuttle line through it, but we'll get to that later. It's around this part of the game where things get a lot less active. I made it through Chambers, Fulton, Elmview, and just before 50th Street before even encountering a train. After 50th Street, there's a blind curve which, a train could just jump scare you at any waking moment without warning, which actually did happen to me once. And I nearly died. Thankfully, I dodged the train in time and survived. I safely made it to the final stop, Rose Street, proving that yes, you can walk the entirety of Nycsa without dying to a train. Is what I would be saying if that was the actual entirety of the game, which it actually isn't. You see, remember that funny little shuttle I mentioned in Lincoln Center? Which actually has a shuttle line through it, but we'll get to that later. That's right, guys, it's Grand Central Shuttle time. Which, we'll see how this goes. My run through the shuttle was not very eventful, however, I did make one big mistake that nearly cost me my entire run. For whatever gosh darn reason, I went in front of an oncoming train that was behind me, which didn't take off for like a good another 2 minutes. But still, that was a really dangerous decision that nearly cost me my entire run, bro. I switched to the easternmost track to avoid the train coming behind me on the central track, which thankfully did work. Everything went smoothly after that. Through Court Square, I safely went through. And then to the end, well, there was a near-death experience there.
3, please stand away from the platform.
Thankfully, I wasn't lacking for too long and jumped out of the way like seconds before the train arrived onto the platform. Had I been caught lacking for any longer, I would have been murked right there on the spot. I made it the entire shuttle, which proved that yes, you can walk the entirety of NYCSA without being murked to death. And that's it for today's video. If you hate this video, dislike it, smash the unsubscribe button if you want to, but if you liked it, subscribe, like, I like it. And yeah, hope to not disappear for like another year again.